What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Thursday night's Late Night Agenda. As always, I'm your host, Craig, and as I like to say, this is your show, folks. You let me know the topics that you want to talk about, and I'll do my best to get through as many comments as I can, as I always do on the stream. Look, unfortunately, I do have to start the stream with disturbing news that I'm sure a lot of you guys already know. It broke very late last night that unfortunately Alisson Becker's father did die in Brazil in a tragic accident, and from all of us at the channel, from myself personally, from every Liverpool fan and every football fan around the world, we want to extend our sincere condolences, our thoughts, our prayers, our best wishes, and all of our love to Alisson Becker, his entire family, the Brazilian football family, of course the Liverpool family. It is more terrible news that nobody wanted to hear. And Alisson is a man of faith. His family are people of faith, and I hope that their faith can help them in this tremendous, difficult period that they are going through. And I don't know what else to say. Just when you think that things can't get any worse for people, not just Liverpool fans, just the news nobody wanted to hear. We know what an important figure he was in Alisson's life and in the life of Alisson's family. And look, all of our love, best wishes, thoughts and prayers go to Alisson Becker and his entire family at what must be an extremely difficult time for him and his family. So unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a great way to start the stream. It's not the news I wanted to be bringing you. I'm sure it's not the news anybody wanted to be waking up to or reading today either. And 57 years of age, I believe the man was. It's no age to pass away, and it was a tragic accident after a dive that took place at a dam on his property, I believe, 300 or so kilometers away from Porto Alegre, I think it was, in Brazil. And look, I'm devastated. I'm lost for words. And it's been warming as always in these heartwarming in these moments to see other football clubs, other football players rally around. We've seen David De Gea sending his support to Alisson, other football players, and Steven Gerrard, and so many people will be sending obviously their love and best wishes. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is news that nobody wanted to hear. We got to push on, obviously, and carry on with the stream and talk through, but I couldn't start the stream anywhere else other than sending all of our thoughts, best wishes and prayers to Alisson and his family. So sad. And just off the news recently, obviously, that Jurgen Klopp lost his mum, Elizabeth, and there are others who have lost as well. Pep Guardiola lost his mum at the beginning of the pandemic, and many of you guys out there have lost loved ones and family members or have been unable to attend funerals because of the COVID restrictions and stuff as well. It's a difficult time, ladies and gentlemen, but it's at moments like these that we need to stick together. It's a moment like these that we need to unite, and we need to show belief, and we need to show love, and we need to show kindness. So, yeah, unfortunately, as I said, it isn't a great place to start. But, carrying on the bad news, I suppose Jordan Henderson looks like he's going to be out for probably 12 weeks, if not the rest of the season. I'm not sure what that means for his potential place in the Euros. There is some good news on the injury front for Liverpool. We know Jota's back training now. Fabinho should be back. Jimmy Milner will be back. And, Jurgen Klopp will start to get some fresh bodies back for the run-in, because 13 games to go in the Premier League, starting with Sheffield United at Bramall Lane on Sunday. Nothing but a win will do, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a difficult few weeks coming up for the football club, and we've got to just try and get through it, one game at a time, 3 points at a time, and see where we end up. What have we got? I watched the stream of him encouraging Alisson and his brother, who's also a goalie. They're very, very close to their family. Very sad, said Bernadette. Indeed it is. And there was a story that was, I think, Alisson told previously, where he was, I think, 5 years of age, and Brazil had reached the semi-finals of the World Cup, I think, and it was a penalty shootout, and they were all around in Alisson's auntie's house, I think, for a party, and his dad and his uncle were so nervous about the penalty shootout, and Brazil finally won and booked their place in the final. I think it was 98, if my memory serves me correct. Alisson's dad just ran straight into the kitchen and face planted the cake, just ran around the house full of icing all over his face. Just, many wonderful memories that he will have of his dad, who, as Bernadette said, has been somebody who's been back right behind both of his sons who've got professional football careers. And it's just so sad, it really is. And look, I've no idea what the situation will be. It should be, and of course most likely will be, Alisson's choice, whatever he wants to do with regards to playing at the weekend, taking time off. I'm sure the club will support him, and rightly so, in whatever he chooses. Yeah, so much to get through. Look, again, Arsenal, if you want to look at the Europa League tonight, Arsenal went through very late as well. A Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang goal sealed a 3-2 win on the night for them against Benfica. They booked their place in the last 16. Steven Gerrard and Rangers booked their place, I think 9-4 on aggregate in the last 16 as well. And United look like they're on their way through. I think it's 0-0 as I go live with this now. In that game, someone said that Sociedad may have missed the penalty. But, our thoughts will turn to the weekend's game against Sheffield United, ladies and gents. And on paper you think bottom of the league, you think, or relegation form, should be a handy enough one, but you just don't know. You just don't know what Liverpool is going to show up. We've talked about centre-back partnerships on the channel a lot. We know we've had 18 centre-back partnerships. Probably going to see number 19 this weekend. And what I want to know from you guys in the chat is, who do you think should start this game? Should we have Nat Phillips, Kabak, Ben Davies, Kabak, Nat Phillips, Ben Davies? The decision is out there for Klopp to make. And one thing I would say is there is a chance now for us to create some stability in the centre-back pairing for the remainder of the season. It speaks for itself when I say, and you see the statistic, we've had 18 centre-back pairings. 18. That's ridiculous. That's in no way consistent, and no way can you expect the results to flow with that many changes. So hopefully there will be a chance for us to form a centre-back partnership for the remainder of the season, whomever that might be. Fabinho is coming back. Personally, I would like him to push up into midfield now, and us to just put two centre-backs playing at centre-back and see how we get on for the remainder of the season. I know it's a risk. I know it's a roll of the dice having two inexperienced Premier League centre-backs with Ozan Kabak or Ben Davies, or Nat Phillips and Ben Davies, or whatever pairing that you think works. I want to see Fabinho put into midfield to give a bit of a shield and protection to that back four. And from there on in, we talk about Naby Keita, maybe Thiago, Curtis Jones, James Milner. How can we help out the attack as well? There's so much for us to get through, ladies and gentlemen. Eclipse Weezer, I think it is, said Kabak and Davies has to be Phillips and Davies, said Musa Khan. Kabak and Nat Phillips should be the centre-backs at RSH14, Davies and Kabak. See, already we've seen loads of different opinions on this, and understandable, because the truth is, none of us really know what the best pairing will be, because none of us have got to see Ben Davies wear a Liverpool shirt. None of us have got to see any of these combinations of players play together. So, it's going to be a difficult one for Klopp to make the decision. There was a story doing the rounds as well today, and I will come back to the centre-back conversation now in a second. There was a story doing the rounds today that suggests Bild put out that they are 66% or something along those lines confident that Jurgen Klopp will leave Liverpool at the end of the 2022 season to become the German national team manager after Jogi Löw's contract expires. Now, we know Klopp's contracted with Liverpool till 2024. I don't want that to be the case. I just want to know if anybody else had read the article or had any thoughts on it. But again, getting back to the centre-back pairing, I'm reading through the comments, and Peter van der Schaen said the engine's been broken up in midfield, which has made us slower in the counter-attack. Kevin Rodriguez Osorio said Phillips and Davis. Again, a lot of people, of course, paying their respects to Alisson Becker's father, which is always what I would expect from our subscribers, because you're a classy bunch of people. What happens if Kelleher's to start? Look, I've no problem with Queevy and Kelleher starting, but Kelleher had been out with an injury as well, and if it was a toss-up between Kelleher and Adrian, I'm picking Queevy and Kelleher every single day of the week. I don't know what people are asking. Is it a reliable source? The Build? Not really. I think there's Build and Sport Build, and I think it's like what we would class as a red top in the UK and Ireland. I think it's a tabloid paper, I believe, but I'm not German, so I can't speak with absolute certainty on that matter. Oh, nobody cares what you have to say, mate. Just come in and say something nice at this moment when we're talking about somebody's father passing away, or just disappear, mate. Nobody cares about you calling Liverpool Banter FC, mate. Honestly, just have some class about yourself, or disappear, or I'll make you disappear, mate, from the chat, because honestly, it's not the time, fella. It's just not the time. What do you think has gone wrong for Liverpool this season, said Clinton Noah? A whole host of things, mate. I mean, we've got the injuries. We've got no crowd. We've had a very tough run of fixtures. There's some burnout. I don't think we can put our form and our season down to any one particular thing. I think it's something that we have to just say was a load of factors combined to put us in the position that we're in. But it's only us that can get us out of the position that we're in, and that has to start with 3 points on Sunday against Sheffield United. On a bit of good news, I'm delighted to say that yesterday we concluded a deal with Boyle Sports that will see us covering the Euros, and all of our coverage of the Euros will be sponsored by Boyle Sports. We're still putting together our content plan as we speak. We may split it across Mundo Sporto and Anfield Agenda, but absolutely delighted to extend that deal with Boyle that ran till May, right through to the summer now. So June and July we'll be doing watch-alongs of the Euros and stuff, with thanks to Boyle Sports. So again, massive thank you and shout out to the guys at Boyle Sports who've been tremendous people to work with, have given us a great platform and allowed myself and Connor and Jack and everybody at the team to just go ahead and do what we do. And can't say enough good things about them. And I'm delighted that we're going to be able to bring you some extended coverage of the Euros. So, we may even have some fan cams out and about as well over in the UK if that's where the Euros are going to be held, because obviously Jack lives over there and we've got some other people who may be out and about with games. So, keep it tuned to both channels. A lot of stuff coming up over the summer as well. As always, we'll be keeping you up to date with Liverpool transfers and all the pre-season friendlies and everything all throughout the summer. And again, thank you to Boyle for continuing to believe in us, and for it's great to extend that little deal there with Boyle until the summertime anyway. If you were in charge in the summer, who would you bring in? It's more a case of who would move out and how much do I have to spend, I mean, look, let's be frank about this. If we're to sit down right now and we're start talking about exits in the summer, Adrian, gone. Phillips, gone. Shaqiri, gone. Origi, gone. Matip, gone. And then you start to talk about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, maybe gone. Some people will rightly have a conversation around Naby Keita, and his fitness needs to be proven between now and the end of the season. But to me, they're the ones straight away off the top of my head that I think it's time to say bye-bye to at Liverpool. Incomings, it's very difficult to know because we don't know what we're working with on the financial front. We don't know what's happening with Minamino. We know Harvey Elliott will be coming back, obviously, and we don't know if we're going to have Champions League football or what type of finances we're going to have to go and act in the market. So, we could be shopping in the Kylian Mbappe market, or we could be shopping in the Rafinha, the Pedro Neto, the Lucas Ocampos, and a few other players that we've been linked with. It's very, very difficult to say with any certainty, folks. What do you think about Ivan Toney, Origi replacement, said Callie. Jack spoke with Darren McAnthony, the owner of Peterborough United, about that very topic, mate, on a recent show. So, they've far more, top championship scorer, from my believing, 6'4", 6'5", can do it all by the looks of it, but, would you roll the dice on somebody like him to come into Liverpool? It would be a big gamble, but those that have watched the guy play speak very highly of him. I know Darren McAnthony certainly spoke very highly of him when he was speaking with Jack about that during the week. George said we should bring in Daka, Rafinha, Aouar or Sanchez and Calais-Dakar. All of those have been linked, mate, with the club, and the Renato Sanchez thing doesn't seem to be going away. Again, today I've seen the story linking Liverpool very strongly with Renato Sanchez, who's currently at Lille, I believe, if my memory's right. Somebody whose career, he burst onto the scene, was expected to be the next great thing of Portuguese football. It stalled a little bit, had some time at Bayern Munich, had some time obviously with the club he broke through at Benfica, had some time with Swansea in England at one point as well, and now is in France with Lille. So it's a story that won't go away, that much we can say for sure. We know the Calais-Dakar situation. He was sitting beside a private jet on a runway in France waiting for the go-ahead from Marseille to make that move to Liverpool in January. They couldn't find a replacement, and Liverpool went out there, signed Ben Davies and brought in Ozan Kabak on a 6-month loan deal with an option to buy. Houssem Aouar, close to joining Arsenal, that didn't happen. So yeah, look, there is no shortage of options. We can definitely name 10, 15 people that Liverpool could realistically go after. Craig, do you think Jota will start against Sheffield? No, not a chance in hell. No, zero, none, not a hope he starts. He's been out for minimum 2 months, if my memory serves me correct. Could be longer, 12 weeks maybe. Only started training properly this week. No, I think the Chelsea game, mate, next Thursday is the one we may see Jota get some minutes from the bench from that game. But to start even that game, I think would be asking too much of him. But we'll wait and see what the gaffer says. But for this weekend, no, I don't think so at all. Delwyn said, I don't have to read that, mate. Let's not start with that type of carry on. But, he said, according to somebody from the Echo, Klopp is likely to bring in a striker on board this summer. Well, look, mate, we need one. So I understand that. I want to see Salah put through the centre. I've said that before, but whether it be a Patson Daka, whether it be somebody else, yes, going out and scoring an absolute goal scorer, or signing, I should say, an absolute goal scorer. Yeah, I agree with you. Should we keep Bobby? It's a very difficult question to answer, Jake, mate, because we did discuss that actually on the Anfield Agenda podcast with myself, Steve Bland, and Jack Gill this week. There's a segment of that posted up that you can hear our thoughts on it, but it's easy for me to give my thoughts, and I have done, but I want to know what you guys think about Bobby Firmino, because it's no secret he's my favourite player, but I do understand that we're not getting the output from Bobby that we probably hope for, not just in a goal scoring sense, but in his all-around play. Now, it's a bit fair to just put the onus on Bobby, because, there's a lot of players who haven't performed to the levels this season. Mohamed Salah is top of the goal scoring charts, and as great as that is, we would still think that all the front three have some more gears to go through. So it's a tough one. I can understand either side of this debate. But the only one who's really going to have the answer to that, mate, is Kloppo. Yusuf wants Bobby in midfield. Do you think Kelleher will be the first player for Ireland in the World Cup qualifying? Yeah, why not? I think Stephen Kenny wanted Caoimhín Kelleher to get more minutes in club football, which you can understand. But he is a talented goalkeeper. He performed very well for underage levels at Ireland and will be the Ireland number one, I believe, going forward. Yeah, I think it's a good show. Trent in midfield, then who are we playing at right back? You say Nico Williams, fair enough, but are you going to start Nico Williams against Chelsea with Trent in midfield? For me, no. I think we've fucked around with our back four enough for sometimes reasons that are obvious, injuries, but we need stability at this moment in time. So for me, I want to just get a back four that's going to see out the rest of the season, bar obviously changes and giving people a rest and stuff like that. I just think we need some consistency in the decision making of the back four, so the keeper knows what he's working with, the midfielders know what they're working with. Do you think we'll win the Champions League? It's impossible to say with any certainty. I don't think any club's fans could say with any certainty that they'll win a European competition. It's a lot to do with the draw. It's a lot to do with hitting form at the right time. We're in the show. That's all you can say, mate. We've 1 foot in the last 8. We need to get the job finished against Leipzig at Anfield on March the 10th, if my memory is correct. And then you just away who comes out of the hat and who Liverpool draw in the quarterfinals. You're 5 games away from potentially lifting that trophy. So, we could do it, but I'm not going to sit here with any certainty and say we will do it. There's my next door neighbour's dog, right on cue. Hi Craig, hope you're well. Fabinho and Jota back for the Chelsea game. Yes, I would say that's fairly certain, mate, yes. Bring Elliott into the first team and concentrate on the centre-back and creative midfielders to Peter van der Schaans. He'll be back next season, I've got no doubt about that. He's already, I think, equalled Jack Grealish's best championship return with regards to assists and stuff. I don't have the exact stat to hand, but I did remember reading something earlier on. He's a baller, Harvey Elliott, and he's going to be good for us moving forward. Which centre backs do you think are going to start on Sunday against Sheffield United? I have a feeling Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak would be at a guess, and it's very difficult to second guess Jurgen Klopp at this moment in time, but that would be my guess, mate, if I had to have a guess for the weekend. Now, I'll be doing my full preview tomorrow. I've already recorded the segment with Leon for that preview, but I'll be doing my predicted 11 and score prediction tomorrow. So that video will be dropping tomorrow night, mate, straight after the late night agenda tomorrow. So I'll have all my information available for that one for you. Do you think Elliott will be loaned out again? You could see both sides to that debate, but for me, nah. I want young, hungry footballers coming into the club. He's a Liverpool fan through and through, Harvey Elliott. He's gone into the Championship, and when a player like him goes into the Championship, you want to see that he is a level above, and I think he has shown that he is a calibre above. So, I'd bring him back. I think we need some fresh blood, we need some new ideas, we need some of that direct running, that petulance of youth. So I'd like to see him stay at Liverpool next season and not go back out on loan. Does Leon work for Boyle? Yes, he's the head of communications for Boyle Sports, Kai. Phillips should start if Davies is Ben Davies fit. I would like to see him start. He is fit, yes, but we haven't seen 1 minute of him playing football for Liverpool Football Club yet, so it's very difficult to know what to expect. From a Sheffield United perspective, you wonder what type of game we're going to see this weekend, because for them, draws aren't good enough. They're going to need to get a win. They're going to need to roll the dice and start getting 3 points on the board. Will that mean they'll come out and try and play open and expansive against Liverpool at Bramall Lane? I don't know. I'm intrigued to find out. Would all be forgiven if Liverpool win the Champions League or top 4? Would all be forgiven? If we win the Champions League and get top 4, mate, I'll be one very, very happy camper. You know, I'll go further and say if we win the Champions League, fuck top 4, because you're already in the competition next season if you win the Champions League, so you wouldn't need to worry about it. But yeah, getting into the Champions League next season is going to be... It's difficult, let's be honest about it. I mean, right now, you wouldn't put us as favourites to grab a top 4 spot. The game against Chelsea next Thursday is going to be absolutely massive for us. It's a must-win game. And I was just looking, I'm going to get it up now, but you just look at the substitutions that Tuchel was able to make on Tuesday night when they were away against Atleti, and like, you know, this is who they brought off the bench. Now, of course, you have 5 substitutes in the Champions League, but Kante, Ziyech, Reece James, Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic. That's who Chelsea brought off the bench. So I won't lie, I'm very, very nervous ahead of that game against Chelsea on Thursday. A game, of course, we will be doing a watch-along here on the channel. I'll be going straight from covering on Sunday, by the way. I'll be going straight from covering Chelsea versus Manchester United on Mundo Sporto over here to do the watch along of Liverpool or Sheffield United against Liverpool. So busy weekend, busy few days coming up. I personally like to see the what? I don't know what you're trying to say with the Greece, mate. Sorry, I've no idea what that means. And Buckley, so I'm gonna have to move on with that one. Van Dijk and Gomez will be like new signings. I'm worried about Gomez, I won't lie. That scar on his leg, that has me very, very worried. And look, I've no medical background, I know nothing about it, but it worries me. That's a pretty big scar on Gomez's leg. What I don't get, Craig, is why does Klopp not play Ben Davies? Well, he was injured, Sakina, that's one thing I can say. But yeah, you're right. Bring in Ben Davies, you know, a decent player with Preston. Darren McAnthony again spoke highly of this guy. I think Darren may have worked with him at Peterborough if my memory's right. Yeah, why not? Give him a chance. All I want is some stability in this back 4 for the rest of the season. Just pick who our back 4 are going to be, get a centre-back partnership together, get them used to playing together, get the midfield to know what to expect, and maybe slip Fabinho back into that midfield to add some protection to that back 4. And then you've got Keita, you've got Thiago, you've got Milner coming back, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones. Options for the gaffer, and you know, we have to turn it around. It feels like we're banging our head against a brick wall at the minute. It's very frustrating. You don't know what to expect. That's the really tough thing. We don't know what Liverpool will show up on Sunday. Will it be the Liverpool that went away and beat Spurs and beat West Ham and beat Leipzig? Or will it be the Liverpool that showed up to the derby? Will it be the Liverpool that got knocked out by United? I don't know. It's so difficult to predict. City fan here, the centre-backs you've signed, target some others in the off-season, sign 1 or 2. I mean, it worked for us. Yeah, look, mate, you guys, again, last season, I don't just want to put it down to the centre-back for you. I think the 3-4 year cycle and burnout and needing to freshen it up was a similar scenario for Manchester City last year, and there are some people living off reputations at the minute at Liverpool that need to live up to those reputations, and I think it may have been the same at City last year. They had the dip, we won the title. This year, we've fallen apart since Christmas, and City have stormed away to, they're going to walk to the Premier League title, let's be honest about it. Could you see us play a 4-2-3-1 next season with Fabinho and Henderson, CDM, Bobby as a central midfielder, maybe a new signing? I don't want 2 central defensive midfielders. I want one deep line midfielder, i.e. Fabinho, and then I want Hendo doing that box-to-box role, defending when he needs to, attacking when he needs to, and then Thiago, Keita, whoever it is, buzzing it around, Curtis Jones doing bits, linking up with the front 3 and causing havoc, because that's what we do when we're at our best. We turn over possession high up the field, we nick the ball back, and we counter-attack at pace, and we confuse the shit out of teams. And because maybe we've had Fabinho and Hendo very deep this season. We've been winning the ball back deeper on the field, and we further then to attack. And if we lose the ball, then it's just been a shit show for various reasons at times, and there's nothing I can say that will change it. There's nothing you guys can say that will change it. The only thing that will change it is hard graft and work on the pitch and going out there and running themselves into the ground and giving everything that they have for the last 13 Premier League games of the season and for the rest of the Champions League. What else have we got? Craig, it'll be interesting to see how long Hendo was out for. 12 weeks, Scotty, is what I've been hearing. 12 weeks, and that's the season over for us. So, yeah, it's, again, not great news, mate, but it's another injury, isn't it? Thiago controls the tempo every game. He's so underrated. Again, it's unfair on Thiago. Some of the criticism he's getting is warranted. Some of it isn't, because he hasn't had a chance to play with the midfielders he's been brought in to play with. And as Klopp said, he's playing with a new tree, or playing in a new tree almost every week. So it's so frustrating. Again, it's the only word I can come up with. A couple of people shouting sign Ollie Watkins. Do you think Villa are going to want to sell him after one season, bringing him up from the Championship, their record signing? Villa at this point in time can still look at themselves and say we are challenging for a European place, and rightly so. So I don't know, is the honest answer. If Villa have ambition to push on, they're not going to want to lose Ollie Watkins. And if we did have to sign Ollie Watkins, I imagine it would be for a rather hefty fee. One interesting thing I did read today is that apparently Manchester United have dropped out of the race to sign Jules Koundé. 22-year-old has a £68 million release clause in a Sevilla contract. And it's thought that Liverpool and a couple of other clubs are looking at that situation. Again, I can't tell you for definite if there's any truth to it or not, but it was reported today, so I thought I'd chat to you guys about it. Loads of people talking about Dybala. Obviously not somebody who's getting a lot of time at Juventus at this moment in time for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't follow Italian football that much to tell you, but yes, Paulo Dybala is a fantastic footballer, mate, but can I see him coming to Liverpool? I don't know. Again, I don't know what we're working with financially, because we don't know if we're going to have Champions League football to offer next season. And I never thought at any point I'd be sitting here saying that to you guys this season. It's been free fall, hasn't it? Like 4 losses in a row at home since 1923 or something. You're looking at that Chelsea game going, hopefully this isn't 5. Hopefully it isn't 5 games in a row at home lost. Damien McKenna said, how big is this summer's transfer window? Mate, it's massive. It is quite simply massive. And whatever we think about the owners, and everybody has their own opinions on them, I've been somebody who's been in both camps at times, some pluses, some minuses, but I think we're all in unison. We all agree this summer we need to act. This summer we can't have a zero net spend. This summer they need to back the manager. They need to be ruthless, as does the gaffer, as does Michael Edwards, as does the scout, everybody involved in the club. We have to be ruthless, and we have to get back on track. So it is a huge summer. I'm very intrigued. This summer could well make my mind up on where I stand on the owners, because you can't be the champions of England, you can't be the champions of the world, you can't win the European Cup and go out there and spend fuck all money. We've been clever at times, absolutely. We've sold players and brought in players that have improved us, but we need to start acting like we want to have long-term success. And yes, that includes being clever, and that includes bringing through youngsters and signing up the next generation of talent. No problem with that. But sometimes you just got to go out there and get them fresh bodies in, make those changes, give people a rocket up their arse, and let them know that they've no God-given right for their name to be on that team sheet when the first 11 is announced each week. So, big summer, buddy. Yeah, big summer. Brandon O'Brien said, very annoying to listen to a lot of pundits and fans saying we are using the injuries as the reason for the big drop off. The amount of injuries would be a disaster for any team. I haven't used it. It's part of the drop off. I mean, you cannot have a conversation around Liverpool dropping off this season without including the injuries, as well as including the lack of bringing in a centre back, as well as including mental drain, fatigue, as well as a loss of form. There's just so many factors. There's no one thing that we can point our finger at and say this solves the problem, this makes everything better. It's got to be a combination of a lot of things, and it all starts with the hard work, grinding out results. One win gets confidence, you get 2 wins, and you try to gather momentum, because that's what's needed between now and the end of the season, is everybody pulling together in the same direction, nobody being played off reputation, being played off who deserves to start the games, and that's where I am at this moment in time. Delwyn said, I hate to say this, but FSG hasn't been good enough for him. They didn't spend money since 2018, simply not good enough from our owners. And for those, just to give context to what Delwyn is saying there, we were basically even on net spend since we won the Champions League. Harvey Elliott's tribunal fee maybe brings us a little bit into, we're in the red by maybe a couple of million, but all in all, yeah, we spent feck all net, mate, since we won the Champions League. And, they often say, you hear the Graham Souness's of this world, the Phil Thompsons, those who've been there, done it, won things. Every year they came back to Melwood when they won a title or won a European Cup, there was 2 or 3 new fresh faces there to give them competition for places, to let them know that they can't sit in their laurels or rest in their laurels, and that's the way we need to be. These players need to stay motivated, stay mean, stay hungry, and let's not forget, we won 1 Premier League title. 1. It's not like we've been dominating for years. 1 Premier League title and a European Cup, and we're very thankful for that, don't get me wrong. But we always heard the word long-term, sustainable success. That's what we want. That's what's been spoken about. Now it's over to the owners to make sure that we get that long-term, sustainable success. Where do you want to see Fabinho when he gets back? In midfield. Look, he can absolutely cover at centre-back, and he's amazing there, and will do a job, no problem. But I want to see him in front of the back 2, if you want to call them the 2 centre-backs, to form almost that triangle or that square that Gary Neville spoke about of protection. So I'd like to see him in midfield, and I'd like to see 2 centre-backs played at centre-back, and that be the way we move forward for the rest of the season. Because I think if we bring in Fabinho and put him back into centre-back alongside Kabak, we're probably still going to have the same problems with midfield and trying to create from deeper and not seeing the best of Thiago and all the things that we've spoken about up to now that have maybe caused or been part of our decline. Keita should start, I agree, absolutely. He's now fit, training, and they spent a long time trying to get Naby Keita's body right and trying to stop the breakdowns and the muscle strains and stuff that he's had, and yeah, absolutely. I think Keita could be a huge key to us seeing the best of Thiago as well. Fabinho's my favourite player. The Liverpool squad, Peter van der Schaans, he is... Sometimes some of these players suffer from being too versatile. You've often heard me say over the years on the channel that Jurgen Klopp loves versatile footballers. Milner, Fabinho, Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, Bobby Firmino, Robertson, Tsimikas, Trent. So many of these lads can play in 2, 3, 4 different positions, but they're all best in one particular position, and that's the positions that I'd like to see them in. Their best, strongest positions. How long is Hendo out for? It's believed to be 12 weeks. Originally it was thought 4 or 5 games. Then there was talk that the initial scan showed up something a bit more serious. He was sent to London apparently. I'm not sure if he needs surgery or not. That much I can't say with any certainty. But from the information that I've heard from different people, some journalists, some just fans, 12 weeks seems to be the figure that's going around. Nikhil saying Minamino not good enough. Well, all he can do at Southampton is prove a point, and he scored 2 goals already at Southampton, playing in a similar system that we play, albeit with probably less calibre of footballers around him. No disrespect to Southampton, but they aren't Liverpool, and he's doing alright there. So I wouldn't mind having Takumi Minamino as an option to turn to now, I won't lie. Leisha said Davies and Kabak to start, Salah to get the armband. I am intrigued to see who gets the armband, because if Milner starts, obviously Jimmy Milner's getting the armband, he's the vice captain. But if he doesn't start, will it be Firmino? I think the next most senior player at the club. Will it be Salah? I guess we'll have to wait and see, folks, what the weekend brings. But, to me, I don't care who has the armband on. I want to see leaders. I want to see leadership all over that pitch. I want to see everybody talking. I want to see everybody communicating. I want to see everybody barking at each other. And we need to have 11 leaders out there on the pitch, not just one lad with a captain's armband on. So I don't give a shit who has the armband on. I want to see leadership, and I want to see it from the senior pros, the Manes, the Salahs, the Firminos, whoever it might be that starts in midfield, Thiago, Milner, whoever. I don't care. I just want to see leadership. Last game in the middle play was Crystal Palace and he scored. No idea why he's put out of squad. I know. I mean, Origi's still here. Figure that one out. You're right, he did score his last game against Palace. But then again, to be fair, we don't know what Jurgen Klopp has seen on the training ground. It's unfair of me to sit here and just cast aspersions out there. I don't know what Klopp sees week in and week out training. He made the decision to send them on loan to Southampton, and it's sink or swim for him. And so far, he's starting to swim from what I can see. Loads of shouts for Wijnaldum, of course, as well, who again another senior pro at the club. Who, do you know what though? If I'm being honest about this, I don't want to see Wijnaldum getting the armband. No, I'm gonna say it. Will he be professional till his contract's up? 100%. But I don't think it sends the right message if you give the armband to Gini Wijnaldum when we all know he's off at the end of the season. So, maybe if we're talking about the rank of seniority, perhaps. But for me, no, sends the wrong signal out. Salah, Firmino, Milner, not Gini for me. I don't think it's the right move. That will be my 2 cents on that anyway. Adar says Jota coming back will be a massive boost. It absolutely will. It absolutely will, mate. Yeah, it's going to be great to have him back. I know we're all frustrated that it was a dead rubber when he played that game against Midtjylland. But, that just sums up our season, doesn't it? Just the bad luck. Play him in the game and he picks up an injury. I mean, United, as an example tonight, you look at United's lineup, they've got fairly strong. They've gone Fernandes in there and they've gone with a fairly strong lineup even though they're 4-0 up. If that was our luck this season, one of our lads would pick up an injury. Do you know what I mean? Now, of course, I don't wish injury on anybody, but I'm just trying to put into context how piss poor our luck has been as well at times. Right, a couple of other bits and pieces to go over, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to become a member and join Anfield Agenda FC, which is particularly great on match days, you get use of all the custom emojis that Doug has put into the chat there now. You get the Anfield Agenda badge beside your name. You get into our members only Anfield Agenda Discord group. It's $4.99 a month. All you have to do is click that join button, and there's a link in the description if you don't see that blue join button. And yeah, there you go. That's my pitch for that one. Why am I so bald? Because that's the way somebody likes it, mate. Is that somebody related to you? I can't say. But let's just say there's a certain person that likes it. There you go, mate. I hope that answers your question. But maybe you're assuming bald somewhere else, pal. I don't know. But again, why are you so bald? Is there certain levels of baldness? You know what I mean? Like, what if I shaved half my head? Would that be better? I don't know, mate, but what we do know is you are an absolute waste of fucking human space, pal, so just fuck off. Simple as that. Craig, I'm gonna be real. Been hit hard both mentally and physical. Craig, I'm gonna be real. We have, man. We've been absolutely hit hard mentally and physically. And burnout is a real thing, and 3-4 year cycles of players is a real thing. So I don't have any excuses, and I don't want to sit here giving any excuses. I want solutions. We all want solutions, and that's what we need to see. We need to see these players, the manager, the coaching staff, come together and find solutions. And, there's a long way to go, yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to stay positive. I really am. I'm trying to just stay positive. Give Harry Wilson a chance. No. Pass. For me. Just my 2 cents on it. It's so sad to see Liverpool collapse again. Well, no, I'm sorry, we're not comparing this to anything else. This isn't a season where, we've just capitulated, we threw away a league title. No, there's been a lot of factors this season as the reasons why we are in the position we're in. It's not just Liverpool thrown in a league title or falling apart, mate. There's varying factors to this, and there's, we need to be fair about it as well. Do I think that Davies and Kabak should start together? Yes. No, not for this game. Sorry. My centre-back pairing, excuse me, I confused myself. For this game, I'd go with Kabak and Nat Phillips for the game against Sheffield United. Been a tough season, but Klopp has been tactically worn out with all the injuries. I remember when he played a diamond against Brighton, a team that played 5 at the back, said 6 times. Yeah, look, nobody, manager included, is past criticism or past constructive criticism at least. And I've been disappointed at times with some of the decision making from the manager, some of the team sheets, particularly some of the substitutions. I still don't know why he keeps pulling Jones around the hour mark when he seems full of running and one of our better midfielders that looks like he's trying to make things happen. Yeah, nobody's past criticism, mate. It's a fair point. I think we can win if Manchester City get knocked out. The Champions League, yeah, I'm hoping if we get through to the last 8 that I see City get drawn against PSG or Bayern. Do you know what I mean? But just the way our season's been going, I almost feel like we're destined to get drawn against Manchester City in the quarterfinals. Do you think we can still win the Champions League? I've already answered that one, mate. I can't say it with any certainty, but could we win it? Of course. Will we win it? Nobody. No fan of any club, mate, can say that with certainty. What else we got? Saying all this, Klopp in, back to manager and the players, we can turn it around. Look, nobody that I'm aware of, nobody that I've spoken to, nobody that I know would even entertain Klopp out, mate. That, I don't know who it is in social media that's putting up all this shite and talking the nonsense. I don't get it. It's never once entered my head to change the manager. There's never been something that's popped into my head. I think we're about 10 subs, by the way, from changing to 78,900. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do take a second, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well. Don't forget about our other channel, Mundo Sporto, which we do non-Liverpool games on. Myself and Jack Gill will be covering games on there over the weekend. There's a link in the description to Mundo Sporto. That's our second channel. Lots of great stuff coming up on there as well. Jack's recorded the first Mundo Sporto podcast this week as well, so that's going to be coming out really soon. I'm going to be doing Chelsea versus Manchester United on Sunday, and then I'm going to be doing the Liverpool game obviously over here. I think Jack is doing Leeds versus Aston Villa, and I think he's doing Leicester's game as well on Sunday at 12 o'clock. So loads of content coming up across all the channels. Earlier on today, I recorded the Grumpy Old Man Show, as I like to call it. Myself, Leon, and Ian Brewster. Obviously, Rian Brewster's father. We chatted about will Rian play this weekend for Sheffield United. We looked ahead to the Chelsea game. That's going to be out in the coming days as well. Make sure that if you listen to the podcast, you follow the Anfield Agenda podcast on iTunes, Acast, Spotify, and Mundo Sportos one will be up on all them soon as well. So we're going to keep churning out the content, folks. We're going to keep bringing you as much as we can, and we're going to try and keep you up to date with all things Liverpool and football related as we move on right into the summer. Whereas I said earlier on, we're delighted to say we've agreed to deal with Boyle Sports, and they're going to be a channel sponsor for the watch-alongs of the Euros as well in the summer. So delighted for that. Will we see Trent in midfield on Sunday? I'd be amazed, Ronan. I mean, the last thing, in my opinion, now, you're not the first person to say this, by the way, Ronan, but in my opinion, mate, I don't think we need to destabilise the back four anymore. I think we need to just create stability and just have a back four that, as best as we can, we'll see out the season. What have we got? I think Mustafi was worth it. No, he's shite. Look, let's be fair, he's shite. There's no two ways about this. He is shite. I'm going to say it again, he's shite. There's no way. I'm probably faster than Mustafi, and unless somebody's wrangling a bag of Kyo's in front of my fat face, no. Just no. Craig, who would you like in the next round of the Champions League? It's more who I wouldn't like, mate, than who I would like. We don't know what way some of the ties are going to go, but, you don't want to be, let's be honest about it. You don't want to be seeing City, you don't want to be seeing PSG, and you don't want to be seeing Bayern Munich. They're ties that you're really going to be worried about. So, look, whatever will happen, but I don't have favourites that I'd like to see us play. There's no way Barcelona are getting through. Not a hope that they're getting through against PSG after that first leg. I'm not sure how I pronounce this one. KR One Patik Exile said, not looking forward to Nat and Kabak in a pair. Both are absolute psychopaths. We've got to have some stability at some point, mate. We've got to pick a centre-back pair and try and get these last 13 Premier League games out of them. A lot of people saying to me in the chat, Leicester are losing. I don't know if they are or aren't, but again, you ask what are their priorities this season. you know, they could go and perhaps try and win the Europa League, and that would get them a Champions League place, or they could keep the focus on the Premier League, maintain the position that they're in, which is a very healthy spot to get a Champions League place and secure the place that way. So I don't know, I can't speak for Leicester fans, but I don't know how fussed they'll be either way on that one. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes, so any more questions, lash them into the chat. I promise you, I'll try my best to get through them. Again, if you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, click that blue join button or have a look in the link in the description. It's $4.99 a month. You know, there's a chance that by June, if things go our way, I could be full-time at this by June. So, you know, I'm pushing now to try and secure everything, to try and make sure we've got the sponsorship in place, to try and make it as risk-averse as I possibly can for me to go full-time at this. I've been trying to get to this position for 3 years. I'm not there yet. Connor's full-time. I'm not. And I'm hoping that by June, if things fall our way, if you guys keep subscribing, keep showing support to the channel, keep watching what we're doing, keep letting others know about us, it's so close. I can almost taste it. But I'm going to keep grinding like I always do. I'm going to keep pushing. And yeah, if you guys stay with us, if you guys keep backing us, I'm hoping that, it's so close, that I could be full-time. I could call myself a YouTuber in the summer, in June, which would be fucking amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. It will be a dream to be, my job to be to talk and interact with football fans. I never thought it would be the case when we started 3 years ago. I mean, I found a photo that I posted on my personal Twitter account earlier on of the very first Anfield Agenda days. I'm going to try and hold it up the screen now to see if you guys can see it, but Christ, we've come a long way. I'm going to hold this up now to the camera and see if you guys can see it, but that's how Anfield Agenda started. The green shoebox is why you're seeing through, but that's how Anfield Agenda started. My wife took that picture. She sat on her bed waiting to go to sleep after I'd done another 3.5 hour stream, and she was sitting there patiently waiting for me to finish so she could go to bed. It's been one hell of a ride, and I'm nearly there, and I never thought I'd get there, but it's only because of you guys, and I cannot thank you enough. But I'm not there yet, so if you can keep letting people know about us, keep dropping that like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll be a proud person, put it that way. I'll be a very proud person if I can get this over the line. Very humble beginnings. You know, I only actually got rid of the shoebox when I bought the iMac in the last couple of months. Right up until then, I was using the shoebox to balance my computer on. And look, there's a lot of other YouTubers who tell you the very same thing. You know, sometimes what you guys see, i.e. this stuff, and the perception of what goes on behind the scenes is a lot different. It's not as glamorous as it can look sometimes with a good green screen or a good camera and stuff like that. Technology at its best there. You can't beat an old shoebox, Tom. Nothing wrong with a good old Adidas or Nike shoebox, mate. Now the trick is to make sure there's a pair of runners in it, to make sure that there's a bit of stability in there. Do you know what I mean? Doug, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Let me get Nulon out for a little boogie there. It's our first super chat of the night, so why not get Nulon out for a little dance? Big up to you, Craig, for all the content and Connor put out every week. Robertson for captain at the weekend, only because he's the captain for Scotland, and Doug is a proud Scottish person, by the way, in case you're wondering there. Yeah, look, I mean, as you said, some people have only gotten to know about us since the 7-2 clip or over the past few months, but I've been at this malark now for 5 years. 2 years in podcasting and 3 years on YouTube. It's been a long road, but there is some light at the end of this tunnel for me on a personal level. And look, I've always said to you, I don't know why people watch, don't see the appeal, but I appreciate it. I'm close to achieving a dream. I'm close to changing my family's life. I'm close to getting myself to that position. So, you know, all I can say is just keep supporting us, keep watching, keep liking, and you know, keep me in your thoughts. That's all I'll say. Why are we not playing Davies? He had been injured, mate. There is that to look forward to. Sorry, I've lost it there. There is that to keep in mind. Sorry, I've knocked my microphone over there as well. There is that to keep in mind. He had been injured, so, you know, I'm sure we'll get to see him soon. This guy, it's true what they say, the Dubs run the show. But look, mate, I've put in 5 years to get to this point of graft and missing family occasions and taking over parts of my house and, you know, ups, downs, fun times, bad times, but fuck, it's been a grind, mate. And I've tried to be consistent, and so has Connor. We've tried to make sure we put out streams 6 days a week. We've tried to make sure that, you know, we've built a safe platform for people to come and enjoy themselves, and it's because of you guys, not because of what I'm doing. It's because of you guys that I might be there in the summer. So, you know, so just keep me in your thoughts. That's all I'm asking. Should Alisson get a rest? It should be entirely up to him, Bailey, in my humble opinion. He should be asked what he wants to do, and whatever he answers, the club should fully support him, which I'm sure they will. I've no doubt about that. Did I go to Oatlands? I did, yes. I went to Oatlands in Stillorgan, mate. Yes, 100%. That was my secondary school indeed. Yeah, very, very happy going to Oatlands. Loved it there. My dad worked just up the road. He worked for the county council as a truck driver, and his county council yard was in Mount Merrion, which was just up the road from Oatlands. So he used to pick me up. I used to wait around for about an hour when I finished school, and he used to come pick me up on the way home at times. Sometimes I get the bus, but yeah, I certainly did, mate. I've been here so long I feel part of the furniture. Yeah, look, I recognise the names, the Tom Bolins, the Carls, the Bernadettes, the Liz's. There's so many people. I'm probably going to miss 20 of them that have been here since those 3.5 hour streams, since those late night agendas that would go on till 1 a.m. We'd have Rod popping in then, breakfast time from Australia, and Uncle Raptor, and so many people that have come and gone, or, you know, pop in occasionally over the years. It's been a real amazing journey, and we're still in with a shout of hitting 100k by the end of this season. So again, that's why I keep asking you to hit that subscribe button, because we aren't too far away. We could get there by May if things go our way. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night, because I'm exhausted. It's been a really busy week. I recorded a podcast earlier. I promise you I'll be back tomorrow. The predictions video, predicted 11 and score predictions, and my chat with Leon will be up tomorrow as well. A clip from the Anfield Agenda podcast will be coming out. Busy weekend as well on Mundo Sporto. Jack Gill is going to be doing Leeds against Aston Villa on Saturday. I'm going to be doing Chelsea against Manchester United on Sunday, and then I'll be straight over here to do a watch along of our massive game at Bramall Lane against Sheffield United. Thank you to each and every one of you. Be safe, be well. Lots of love to you all. Yeah, keep Alisson in your thoughts and your prayers as well, and stay safe, folks. Lots of